When I was about 8 or 9, my father and I, we used to be out among the cattle, and I got ringworms on my face, and I got one there on my chin. And the cattle out in the field had ringworms. So there was an old fella around, and they called maybe out in the gold finder. He was random called
Eileen Murphy.
Eileen Murphy's living near you.
Yeah.
And my father asked him would he come over and to cure him, and he said he would. These was all-time cures. So he came over, and of course I was out with my father in the field along with him, and he walked around the cattle. And my father said, look, this young one have one on her chin. And he walked around me. And I was going home, and he said, you'll never see it going. And I never seen it. I never seen it disappearing. But one day I looked at it after a week and it was gone. Completely gone. And I have a daughter, and she got a wart on her face there. She was, what was she, 5 or 6, when she got a wart there. And there was a cousin up in Eskimo, Mick Fortune. That's me, my father, my husband come from that side, and I was on his, and he said, bring her up to Mick Fortune and she cures. And I brought her up to Mick Fortune anyway, and he got a straw out of the haggard, and he came in with it, and he put a knot on the straw, and he said, that's all right now. He said, that'll be all right, Sarah, he said to her. And I said, what do you do with the straw? He said, I'll bury it. And by the time the straw rotted and I was no that the water was gone off her face.
If you had 6 warts, you went and picked 6 thorns and buried them. Because I heard my mother telling, or mercy on her too, telling years ago about she had warts on her hand, and this old man across the road used to cure warts. And she picked the thorns and all and went down to the old man, and he said, without saying one word now, go out and bury those. She went to the door and she turned and she said, where's the shovel? And she had to go and do the whole thing all over again. That's a true story.
A friend of mine, Dick Foskin, he was the boss in Clover Meats in Waterford. He shot with me and for years. And he tried everything to get these warts, and they were terrible looking, despicable looking things altogether. And I had heard there's a local grocer here knew a man called Martin Sheehan that used to take off warts, and he used to cure farcy in horses as well, and he was able to stop bleeding. That's a great cure as well. So anyway, I said to Dick Foskin, now he used to come to the shop I was in the grocery business, and he used to come to the shop every fortnight. So I said, Dick, I have a man now. I made contact with John Flanagan first, and then Martin Sheehan down Old Town Lane, which is where he lived here. So I contacted Martin. So I brought Dick Foskin out Friday, Wednesday afternoon, and he'd no light or anything in the house. The old house had gone out now. And so I told him my business, that this was a friend of mine, Dick Foskin, and I didn't tell me he'd tried everything. So he went in. I only could hear him counting the warts. They were terrible, despicable looking on his both hands. So he said, that's all right. So anyway, I couldn't wait for the next fortnight to see whether any progress with Dick Foskin. And when he did come, well, he said, they're not gone, Gerard, but they're kind of itchy now. He said, there's something happening. So another fortnight went by, because a good many of them had gone. So eventually they all went in about over a month or 6 weeks now. So he said to what were we going to give this man? Does he take money? So I inquired from the local grocer. No, I'll bring him out some cigarettes, a bit of tea and sugar. So we made up a box of stuff, and Dick and I went out victorious, and not a mark of a war, and they were bad wars.
There's an old man, Mick Morris, that used to live right again where I'm living now, and he used to cure warts. There was people come now, there was surgeons, sons and everything come to him to cure warts. And he cured it. He had a piece of cord, and he put a knot on the cord for every wart that you had. And if you forgot to tell, say you had 24 warts and you said you're only 23, well, the 23 warts would go. Now I've seen that myself, I witnessed that myself, and the one would remain. You'd have to tell him exactly how many warts you had. But they'd go and he'd tell you to come back to him in 9 days. And he used to do a prayer every day for the 9 days. But the warts went. Now Mr. Shiggins's nephew came to me. Mick came up to me and he said, "Morel, Dr. Bernard."
Dr. Bernard.
Yeah, he said that Mr. Shiggins's nephew come to him to cure his warts. And he did, yeah.
And Mr. Shiggins was a surgeon.
And Mr. Shiggins was Mr. Shiggins, the surgeon in Wexford. It was his nephew went to me. And Mick said to him, "What are you going to me for? And your uncle, the best surgeon in Ireland." Yeah, but he says, "I want you to cure me warts." So he did, he cured the warts. Yeah.
I heard this too, that if you went to a married woman, she have to be married. If you went to a married woman and she take off a ring and she put it in over the wart will fall off. There was a woman around the other side believed that. I said to her one day, I had a wart on my finger, and she said, "Your Aunt Mary there," she said, "could cure that for you." And I said, "How?" And she said, "Take off the ring, because that ring says blessed." She said, "Take off the ring." She said, "Any married woman," who wasn't married this time, "any married woman do," said, "take off the ring and place it," said, "on the wart, and it'll go."
But people collected the first drop of rain and made the purse. There was a cure in that. The first drop of rain. Did you ever hear that? Yeah. We used to keep that in the bottle. There was a cure in it. Yeah.
The 1st of May. And May Day, if you could do it at all, and May morning the girls used to go out and to get the dew off the grass and to wash their face with it. And they'd have lovely complexion for the following year. The whiter you wear that time, the better. Now you have to be all brown, but that time you had to be lovely and white. And when the women used to meet, to sell it around, and people wash their face in buttermilk to keep their face white. And that was sold up to about 8 years ago in White's Hotel, and every other hotel around did buy it for the good complexion. So, if you had warts, you cured. If you just rubbed them in the dew. What there was great cure about May.
Well, you walked out in the dew in your bare feet on May morning, and your chilblains were gone. You wouldn't get chilblains anymore.
They say that a dog's tongue is the cleanest thing of all.
Yeah.
Yeah, to lick the wound.
Yeah, a cat's tongue will rot anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so rough.
Yeah.
And if you got a dog to lick it, it'll cure, it'll heal up in no time.
This is a cure for fowls and cattle, or cows. And you boil the turnips and you put them in a sack, middle sack or something like that, and put the cow's hoof on it and in it, as it said, and tie it around it and leave it in it for a few days. And that should cure the fowls. Another one for the fowls was to make where the cow was standing, put a cross on it with a 2 shilling piece.
There's a little stone with a hole in it up in screen, and if you had a wart on your finger, if you put it into it, it cures. And St. David's, well, sure, there's crutches and medals and everything left up there. I was when were you in St. David's Well, Mary?
I was there in the summer.
Yeah, I was there about 3 years ago, and it's lovely. And I believe in that, you know. But if you don't have the belief going, you might as well stay at home.
That's like I heard of a man years ago. His wife was, she was taking Disprin, or no, there was no high-class medication that time, and she had a headache or something anyway, and she was taking the Disprin, maybe this will cure me. Well, ma'am, he says, if you don't believe, he says, in the Disprin, he says the headache won't go away.
No, that's true. Yeah.
She had to believe in it. Of course, that was the older people.
That's
all
right.
Yeah.
And there's a well up in Ferns, St. Mogues, and the water out that is great. And I know people that go and they wouldn't use any other water. You know, they don't get holy water, don't bring it home.
Yeah.
They always go and get a bottle of Mogues water. And I know this woman, she got a bottle every week, and she used to go from Eskimo down to Gorey every week shopping. And she had an older mother. The mother was 94 at home, And every time she had to stop at Moog as well and get a bottle of water. And this day she got down, she forgot it. And this only happened 2 years ago. And she came home and she said, I forgot the water. And Father Power of Eskimo was in the house then with her. And he went into the kitchen and he said, Nana, I'll tell you what you'll do. He said, you turn on the tap and fill the bottle, he said, and it'll cure her the very same mug as well as the belief she have in it. So she did. And she always said that it kept her alive, do you know, it is healthy. Yeah, I believe in the Holy Wells and them places. And I believe in St. David's Well. I sprained my ankle. And I went up to St. David's Well on the bicycle. And I got the water and I cured it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. It's a great cure, but you have to believe in it. No, there's no use of going. You have to believe in. And then there was such a thing years ago as a relic. We had one at home, a little one, and it was something like gold. We weren't allowed to touch it. We weren't allowed to put in our hand or about 8 or 9. A little relic.
Oh, relic, yeah.
And it was worn so much. There was glass, and it was worn so much that you'd be afraid to take it in your hand. You know, they wouldn't give it to you. But if you were sick, my mother rub it on you.
Yeah.
And did you ever hear tell they were saying you were rubbing the relic?
Yeah.
Well, that saying is going still.
Yeah.